Once that side is a nice golden brown, you can take the chicken out of the skillet.
Not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And since a lot of people have been coming out with videos rebuking David Corral, I think I want to throw my 2 cents into the hat. Well, this is not my first rodeo. This is not my first rebuttal against the statements of Michael 5723, David Corral, whatever he wants to call himself. But here goes. Now, David Corral reminds me of Major Sergeant Waters in the movie A Soldier Story. If you ever peeped that film, you know, this character was a dude who was a bootlicker for the white man. And he constantly called, you know what I'm saying, his fellow blacks Ginchies, coons, buck dancers. You know, I'm like, he looked at his, you know what I'm saying, he used to talk down to his fellow blacks worse than the white man would. Because he felt that they wasn't up to par. You know, they wasn't intelligent enough, you know, to cope with the white man's military, the white man's world. And he has to, you know what I'm saying, get them in shape. You know, tell them to forget about the past or forget about the so-called white man's oppression, saying, oh, it's no excuse for you, Negro, if you don't have an education and so forth. I'm like, he'll ignore the fallacies of the white man because it's a realm that he had no authority in. You know, while just constantly just spewing, you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of vulgarity and name calling to blacks. You know, so Michael 5723 is not unique in this realm. You know, people think he's smart and that he's groundbreaking. No, he's not. But of course, at the end of that movie, A Soldier Story, you know, Waters eventually revealed his emotional side and how he really felt about whites. So I'm not going to leave that little tidbit out there. But here we go. Now, David Corral, you know what I'm saying, created a little controversy when he said that when it comes to freedom of speech, he'll stand next to the Ku Klux Klan and the neo-Nazis, which I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I kind of understand what he was saying. He's saying that this constitutional right of freedom is so important with him that he will even stand shoulder to shoulder with his enemy, people who hate his skin. Okay, but, you know, I would love to see David Corral state that he believes that blacks deserve social justice, no matter how insane black people act, no matter how savage we are, if we're doing the ooga booga or whatever, that we as an American citizen deserves equal rights, even if he has to stand shoulder to shoulder with Reverend Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson. Yeah, I know he doesn't like these dudes, but he should be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with him when it comes to equal rights for blacks. Noble, you know what he states? He talks about, well, you black people, you know, no wonder why you don't get no justice. No wonder why nobody respects you, Negro. You know what I'm saying? Look what you do. You tear up your communities and so forth. You're buck dancing. You're savages. But all that aside, do black people deserve equal justice? Do we deserve to be looked at as individuals? Would you stand next to Farrakhan and march with these banjo pluckers or this minstrel show, as you would say it, to make sure American citizens are guaranteed their rights? Or and you know what I mean? You know, that's a statement you won't hear from David Corral, because I know that he will run away his white constituents. Now we're going to go into the WorldStarHipHop. Let me tell you something. The thing is about David, he's stubborn. Alright, it doesn't matter if you do properly debunk one of his arguments, he'll never admit that. He'll never say, oh wow, you got me, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, kudos to you. You actually debunked something. I'm like, no. He will not accept an intelligent argument from the opposing side. You know, he'll dance around his words. He'll say something like, you missed my whole entire point precisely. I'm like, what is his point? I'm like, is he talking in riddles like this was an old episode of Batman or some shit like that? I'm like, this is not poetry. You know, if you get on YouTube and make your dissertation, you want to be precise and you want to be clear. And if somebody don't understand something, you should just elaborate it a little bit more instead of saying, oh, Negro, you missed my whole entire point. You know, it's like, did I say the sky was blue? I didn't mean the sky was blue. You know, you missed my whole entire point. You know, see, you know, that's, after a while it becomes like a childish, you know. And then he says something about repetition is the mother of learning. Yeah, I agree with him on that, but this is YouTube, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to constantly repeat yourself over and over again, especially we can just watch your video over again or put it on rewind or whatever. But I'm going to go into this WorldStarHipHop thing that people keep debunking, and I guess David Corral is getting a little flustered, you know. The thing is, compare these, well, I'd say these YouTube sellouts with WorldStarHipHop. So why I'm going? Well, WorldStarHipHop is its own entity, you know, its own website. You know, the owner of it can do whatever the hell he wants to do. You know, it's just like if we just say, hey, let's go and try to shut down Ghetto Gaggers, you know, or one of these racist websites, niggermania.com or Storefront. They have the freedom, you know, they have that freedom. So I'm not going to try to infringe on that. But a while ago, I did sign a petition or something on the internet to get rid of WorldStarHipHop. Somebody was trying to forming a group, not here on YouTube, and I did sign that. But as far as WorldStarHipHop, first of all, we got to realize it's a hip hop website. You know, I'm like, what kind of mental stimulation or what type of positive image you have to expect from? I understand that hip hop, you know what I'm saying, mainstream hip hop, or the type of hip hop that is profitable is very deplorable. You know, all they talk about is, you know what I'm saying, cuss words, smoking weed, guns, and this and that. That's not what hip hop is about. But when you go to WorldStarHipHop, the majority of it is rap music. It's rap videos, interviews with rappers, information about rappers, gossip about rappers, and these ghetto fights or whatever, you know, is like their side dish. You know, unfortunately, their little side dish, you know what I'm saying, has become more popular than their main entrees, because a lot of people, you know, feed off that. But WorldStarHipHop lets you make your own mind. It doesn't force some sort of agenda. It doesn't say like black females are just ratchet and they show all these videos. They just show the videos and you make up your own mind. Whether you want to believe that these black females represent the whole of black women, or you say, hey, this is just a, you know what I'm saying, a percentile of just ghetto females that don't represent, you know, other hardworking black females. Hence, see, the YouTube coons, you know, they gather these clips and they, you know what I'm saying, they paint a broad stroke on black women. You know what I'm saying? Look what WorldStarHipHop is doing to black women. Look what WorldStarHipHop is doing to black women, and so forth. And, you know, they constantly, you know what I'm saying, just brand black females like, you know what I'm saying, like, this is you. You know what I'm saying? They don't, you see what I'm saying? It's like it's more so they're pushing a propaganda. Like, look at how the black woman is falling. Look at the black woman as the enemy. As WorldStarHipHop doesn't do that. It just displays videos. Also, WorldStarHipHop displays a lot of videos. Videos from shit overseas, white people. So you can't say that they it's just black women that they're going to focus their energy on. They got videos from all different aspects of life, from all different things. You know, I guess the ghetto fights is what they're known for. They become synonymous with it. And as far as this wretched behavior, people was putting these on DVDs. I can't remember those DVDs, Urban Fights, Ghetto Fights, that you can even find in Best Buy. So WorldStarHipHop was not the originator of it. And also, there's just all sorts of deplorable websites of just, making American culture just looks like a place of cesspool of sex and drugs and just wretchedness. American culture, not just black culture, but American altogether.
Once that side is a nice golden brown, you can take the chicken out of the skillet.
And David also goes into, and let me just rebuke a couple other statements that he states that he's made. One about, Trayvon Martin. He said, why not honor the death of Trayvon Martin by cleaning up your own communities and stop these black thugs terrorizing these senior citizens? First of all, how does he not know that there are black men trying to clean up their community? No, he assumes that they're not. And also, not every black person is from the black community. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of black people living on army bases, some even living in trailer parks and living in white trash areas, or living in suburbs, or living in the metropolitan district of their cities, That's where I lived at for quite a bit of time. The downtown metro areas around a diversified crowd of Koreans and gays and so forth. Also, if a black person is not part of the problem, if he's not out there shooting or selling guns or selling drugs, don't you think he still has a right to protest against what happened to Trayvon Martin? You can say, oh, what about these black people killing and this? No, I'm not part of these black persons that's killing, and that's wrong. They should go to jail too. The murderers of black children, of any children, should receive a trial. And that's the thing around with George Zimmerman. It was about him having a trial. That was mainly the fuss about. They put up more of a fuss than him getting off being innocent, even though there was still a little bit more protest going on. But, so it just, David just wanted to just throw us all inside that basket there and just put us down into the deep fry.
Once that side is a nice golden brown, you can take the chicken out of the skillet.
Also, David talks about there's a group of people trying to save the image of the black woman, or we're trying to defend that can't be defended. But yet and still he feels the Ku Klux Klan and neo-Nazis can be defended. Like when it comes to their freedom of speech, he'll stand next to them if somebody says that they can't say these things, But so basically he'll defend white racists, or says that they are defendable, but you can't defend wretched black women, so go figure. But that's, someone like David, displaying the negativity of black people, it's easy to gather a crowd that way. White people love it when a black person criticizes black people because it saves them the burden of being called a racist when they do it, and so forth. And yeah, I will defend black females against this smorgasbord of just mindless banter. I'm like, you're trying to say that there's no positive black women out there? I'm like, I've come across, there's positive black women in my family, a whole lot of them. Now, someone like David may say that, I'm not talking about all black women, this and that, but that's all. I'm like, if you focus everything on the negativity of black women or the fall of black women in your videos, and you have nothing to really say in light of black women, this is, you see what I mean? Someone will get the impression that you don't like black women, that you felt that they are doomed, that they've become so corrupted and so malicious and so dysfunctional that there is no good black women left. There's no honorable black women, walking with their head up high. That every black woman out there is out to get you. That's going to cause, destruction, as Tommy Sotomayor says. And they only use that disclaimer as I'm not talking about all. Well, then, if you're not talking about all, then you need to start doing positive videos. You know what I'm saying? Make with uplifting statements. Here's, but with people like David, these, these shoe shiners, because that's what he is. As intelligent as he claims he is, and so forth, he only does this almost to prove himself, to get a pat on his head from his white master. And David will not say anything positive. I'm like, I don't know how somebody can just, he's like Gargamel in his fucking castle. Trying. I just read somewhere that the prison population is dropping. It's declining. That's good news. That means there's not that many blacks or Americans going to jail. Then it dropped, but it only dropped a little bit. Maybe 2-3% since 2011. So that's good news. You know what I mean? That's positive. We're moving in the right direction. But you won't hear this positivity from the likes of these people like David Corral and Tommy Sotomayor and so forth, because they'll tell you that it's just getting worse. It's getting frequently worse. Okay, that's all I want to say.